Hey friends, this is Karen from Blue Rooster Farm, and today we're in the kitchen. We are getting ready to try making yogurt for the first time in the Instant Pot. So if you want to see how we make it and how it turns out, stick around. So like I said in the intro, this is the first time we are going to try to make yogurt. I have never done this before, but I have seen lots of videos and seen lots of recipes on how you can make it really easily in your Instant Pot. So that's what we're going to try today. Now I've seen lots of different ways and there's a lot of different techniques. So I kind of went through and trying to figure out, why do you do this? You know, what's the reasoning by heating the milk up, and why do you do this, and why do you add this? So from my understanding, I'm going to tell you how I'm going to do it and explain kind of the reasoning behind it. So we'll see if this turns out. Now there's a couple of different ways you can make it in your Instant Pot. You can use regular milk, just store-bought pasteurized milk. But if you use that, you are going to have to heat it up to 181 degrees and then let it cool down to, I'm thinking it was like between 110 and 120. I can't remember the exact temperature. Because regular pasteurized milk, even though it's perfectly healthy to eat, there are some different bacteria in there, and they're healthy bacteria. But when you warm the milk up and you let it set, those bacteria propagate and will compete with the yogurt bacteria. And so you want to kill off all of that bacteria that's already in the milk and just use the bacteria that's in the yogurt starter that you're going to be using. So I hope that makes sense. So I'm thinking I'm going to try it the next time I make yogurt with the regular milk, but I wanted to go with the easy way first. And the easy way is to purchase at the store, and this is Fairlife, and it's an ultra filtered milk, and it's lactose free, but because it's ultra filtered, I believe that means that they have taken all of the bacteria and everything out that might compete with the yogurt bacteria, and so that you don't have to start off by heating this to 180 and killing off any other bacteria in the milk. This is ready to go. And so if you buy this, it makes it a lot simpler. But like I said, I'm going to do this one first, and then another time I'm going to try the regular milk, and I'll try to videotape that one for you too. But we're just going to need this, a couple tablespoons of a cultured yogurt, and then if you want, we can add a sweetener. So I'm going to bring you down to the pot and I'm going to show you what we did. Oh, and another thing, if you're like me and you use your Instant Pot a lot for soups and stews and things that are seasoned with onions and spices and stuff, you want to, before you get started, make sure your pot is really clean and your lid is really clean, and take that silicone out and that rubber silicone around the outside edge and give that a really good cleaning. I also, just to make sure it was really clean, and you don't have to do this, but just to be safe, and I wanted this to turn out, I put about 3 or 4 cups of water in my Instant Pot, and then I put it on pressure cook for 10 to 15 minutes and let that do its thing. And then that just sterilized it and cleaned it and hopefully took care of some of those smells that might make your yogurt taste a little different. But again, not everybody does this, but I'm just trying to use all the information that I received from what I read and what I watched and try to make the best product. So that's what I've done. It's now cooled. You don't want to keep it hot because that might affect your yogurt. And it's cooled, it's clean, and it's ready to go. Also, if you have a regular lid for your Instant Pot, and not just this big heavy one, but maybe a glass lid too, you can just use that lid and that would be fine as well. You're not going to use the pressure part on this. So now I'm going to move you down, and that way you can see what's going in the pot. Okay, so I'm going to pause right here for a moment, and after I made this video, I did a little more research on making yogurt with the ultra filtered, ultra pasteurized milk. And it's not that it's ultra filtered that makes it where you don't have to boil it. It's that it's ultra pasteurized, and Fairlife milk is ultra pasteurized. The most common pasteurization process for milk in the United States is to bring the milk up to 161 degrees. But in ultra pasteurization, they bring the temperature up to 280 degrees, which virtually kills off 99.9% of the bacteria in the milk, which is therefore the reason we don't have to heat this Fairlife milk to 180 degrees. We can just use a cold start to make our yogurt. All right, I think I have you in a good spot now. So what we have is we have our ultra filtered Fairlife milk, and I think there's other brands, and there's probably not name brands, but store brands as well. You need, and this is a huge canister, you don't need this much. You're going to just need 2 tablespoons for what we're making today. You need a yogurt that is plain yogurt, not sweetened, not vanilla, not flavored, just plain. And it also has to have live cultures. And you can find on the back, it will tell you like active cultures, and it tells you what's in it, what kind of cultures are in that. And this one has live active cultures right here. So as long as it says on there live active cultures, you are good. It doesn't have to be organic. I just happen to have this one. So this is the one we're using. Then if you want to sweeten your yogurt, if you want a sweet yogurt, you can get some sweetened condensed milk. And this is what I'm using. And this is a 14-ounce can. I've seen people use the 14-ounce can for half a gallon. I've seen the people use 14-ounce can for a whole gallon. So it's just your preference of how sweet you'd like it. If you don't want sweetened yogurt, do not add this. You don't have to have this. This is just to make it taste better if you like the sweetened yogurt. And if you make it just plain with just these 2 ingredients, later you can sweeten it with whatever you want. Honey, maple syrup, a sugar substitute, whatever you like. You can sweeten it later. And at that time, you can also add fruits or whatever you want. But right now, just to make the yogurt, we need these 2 ingredients, and this is optional. So let's go ahead and add the half a gallon of milk. Now, you can make this in a whole gallon too, but since this is my first time, I thought, well, if it doesn't come out, I won't waste 2 or a whole gallon or 2 of these half-gallon bottles. But from what I've seen, it's supposed to be really easy. So let's just see if that's right. So we've got our milk in there. And for every half gallon, we are going to need 2 tablespoons of the plain live cultured yogurt. So let me get my tablespoons. And I don't think you have to be, exact. Mine are probably going to be a little heaping. Some people were more exact than others on their videos, and everybody's yogurt looked like it turned out very well. And after you make your first batch, if you reserve a little bit of this yogurt that you're making, you can use it from then on to make your next batch. So after you make a batch, you might put 2 tablespoons or 1/4 of a cup to the side in your refrigerator. And then when you're ready to make more, just use that as your starter. So that would be a way to stop buying the yogurt altogether. And then I am going to make some sweetened yogurt because we do like ours to have a little sweetener, but I'm not sure how much I'm going to add. I'm going to start by adding, I think, half of this or a third of it. And then I'm going to whisk it in and I'll just taste it because I don't want it overly sweet. I just want it to have a little bit of sweetness. Just make sure it's all incorporated in there good. That's pretty good. I think I'll go ahead and do half of the can. That was a third. There's a half. That should be fine. And again, just to your taste. It's all mixed in. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to put the lid on. And we don't have to have the vent closed. In fact, I'm going to leave my vent open. And then, let me move you down here so you can see the buttons. Okay, I think you can see now what we have on our panel here. And different Instant Pots have different buttons. Now, you do need to have the yogurt setting. Now, there may be a way to make it in an Instant Pot without that, but I do not know how to do that. I do know how to do it with the yogurt setting. So you'll have to do your own research if you don't have that setting. So what we're going to do is, the longer the yogurt, I guess, heats or maintains a certain temperature, the tartar the yogurt will get. So if you like tart Greek style yogurt, you will probably want to have it, I guess, incubating, is that the term, in the crock pot for over 8 hours, maybe 8 to 10 hours. Most people agree that 8 hours is a nice tang, just like the store-bought style creamy yogurts that you can get. So 8 hours is what most people recommend for just that kind of yogurt. Some people who have kids that do not like the tang only do theirs at 6 hours. So I'm going to set mine for 8 hours. And since we've already used the ultra pasteurized milk, we don't have to boil beforehand. So let me push the yogurt button. I just want to show you what my settings say. So it comes up 8, normal. And if I just leave it like that, it will start and I'm done. I just let it set for 8 hours and then I'll show you what we do when I come back. Now, I'm going to cancel this for a second. If I were using the regular store milk, I would hold this button until you see the boil. And then it will, I think then it will boil it first. Let's see. And then once it boils it, you can open it up, make sure it's 180 degrees, and then you'll start your yogurt process. So you can see it's showing you right there, it's getting ready to boil. But I'm going to cancel that because I don't need to boil mine. Mine is ready to be made into yogurt. So I'm going to push yogurt, and I'm going to get rid of that by pushing it again. 8 hours. Now, if I wanted to go longer, I can push the up button. If I wanted to go shorter, I could push the minus button. But we'll try 8 hours, and then I'll just not push anything else, and you'll see it beep here in a second, and it'll start. There it goes. So it is now on. I don't want to touch it. I want to leave it just the way it is, and I will bring you back in 8 hours, and we'll open it up and see what it looks like. All right, it has been 8 hours, and this just went off. And so we're going to open it up and see what it looks like. And it's not hot because it's just been a really gently warm temperature in there. It's just warm. Well, it looks interesting. There's just a little bit of water on top. That's the whey. Oh, it's very thick. Very thick. In fact, I can stick a spoon in there and it holds. Beautiful. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Really pretty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the refrigerator and let it get cool. And then in the morning, I will take it out and we will take a look and take a taste, maybe add a little fruit to it. And then I'll put it in separate containers so that it's easy to take out of the refrigerator. Good morning. It's the next day and I've just taken the yogurt out of the refrigerator and we're going to serve it up and give it a try. So I'm going to move you down here and let you see what we've got. Okay, I just covered it with plastic and had it in the refrigerator. And look at that. It does harden up, they say, at night. And yes, it's very thick, very thick. Oh, I like that texture. I hope you can see that. It's nice and creamy. So let's put a little bit of this in a little sherbet or yogurt glass. And I have some raspberry filling from this summer that I'm going to open up and we're going to layer it in our dish. So let's put a little raspberry filling at the bottom. A little yogurt. And then Andy makes his own granola, so we'll add a little of that. This looks good. I can't wait to try it. Another just a little bit of the filling. And another. It's so thick. There we go. Isn't that pretty? This looks like dessert. Oh, it's going to be great. These are going to be great breakfast. Now let's give it a try. Okay, give you another look at it. Isn't that pretty? I'm going to get a little bit of everything in there. That is really, really, really good. And you know, the raspberry filling, it makes it taste like the ones at the store. Only better, much thicker. And the sweetened condensed milk, remember we added half a can to half a gallon. It is not sweet, like overly sweet at all. In fact, it would not be as sweet as the ones you have that you'd buy at the store, but it's really good this way because the fruit has the sweetness. That has such a good texture. And it's very, very thick. And it has just a little bit of a yogurt twang, but not much. Just the right amount. So if you like it a lot more twangier, if that's a word, you would leave it in longer. If you like it very, very mild, you would leave it in 6 to 7 hours, but 8 hours is perfect for us. This is very good. So if you haven't tried Instant Pot yogurt and you have an Instant Pot, you need to give it a try. It is really, really good. I'll have to see if I can make a video using just regular whole milk and doing it that way and seeing if it comes out as well as the super filtered or Fairlife milk that we used, but this turned out really nice. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like and share. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. It helps my channel out a lot, and I would really appreciate that. So until next time, I hope to see you back here soon. Bye-bye.